Good morning. I think we're live. Idea Studio Live. It's a couple minutes till 11. So pull up your Facebook. Remember, you want to comment to us. Type something in. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a hi. Tell us who's there. Mr. Joey's getting good at recognizing names when you log on. Today's Tuesday, April 7th. I think it's kind of easy to lose track of days when we're not having our normal routines. So send us a comment. Hi, Sissy. My sister's on.
And Alicia.
Joe, will you move this
Alicia's
over
always
in
one
front
of
of
the
you?
first ones there.
Hi, Alicia. Sophia and Casey are usually some of the first ones that log on to me. This is what we're doing today. This is not cool. It will make a awesome decoration for your table. Sophia and Casey, I'm going to bet you're going to have an awesome Easter dinner on Sunday, so you guys can make centerpieces for the table. Send us a thumbs up, send us a comment.
Sarah Elizabeth.
Sarah Elizabeth and her mom are on. Hi, Sarah Elizabeth. It'll be really fun someday for me to meet some of you. Don't know. I think I've seen a picture of Emily that her mom's posted. Amanda, I don't know if have you posted a picture of Sarah Elizabeth with her work? I've seen some people's work.
Brockway.
Olivia's on. Hi, Olivia. Olivia's mom is a school teacher, so she's having a little different life at the moment too. I know our school teachers are doing all kinds of awesome things online with our kids, and I hear from a lot of the kids that have activity bags that their teachers are streaming all kinds of lessons for them and things to do. So we've got some people doing our lessons in the evening after dinner. That's the relaxing end of their day after they do schoolwork during the day. So hopefully we all make it through the end of the school year all intact. So I'll have to see if I get to meet Sarah Elizabeth one day. I'll meet Emily one day. I have a little girl whose mom posted her pelican yesterday. Mom's name's Courtney. I think little girl's name was Morgan. So I know I've got Garrett and Morgan out there, and now I've got another Morgan. And this Morgan's pelican turned out so awesome. It looked really, really good. It was her ink wash pelican from yesterday. The Schroeder family posted all 5 of their pelicans. They had a whole flock. The mom and dad had laid all their pictures out on the table together and took a picture, and I got to see the kids all working on their pelicans, and dad's doing it and mom's doing it. So that whole family of 5 sitting down doing art together. So that household is staying very calm and unstressed. They do say, I think there's even scientific evidence that 40 minutes of art is a great de-stressor. So if your parents are having to try to work from home and things are just piling up and everything gets to you, then you should sit down and do art together.
Brockway's here and Emily's here.
Oh, and I heard Emily's here. Hi, Emily. We are going to do an egg project today. It's springtime. I just learned that we have a bird's nest that's been built at our house under one of our windows. And I think out in front of the studio here we have a bird nest. Did I say birdhouse? A bird nest that's been built under our awning in front of the studio. So it's springtime. We've got lots of eggs about to hatch. I know that when my kids were little, they used to always decorate Easter eggs for Easter, and Easter's this Sunday. So I thought an egg project would be really cool. So I'm gonna put it out here so Joey can see it better. We'll pull the camera in so you'll be able to see more, but this is what we're gonna do today. So if you're logging on, this is what you're looking for in your activity bag. There's a little packet of bright colored papers. You should have 6 of them. And it's got this little piece on the top of it. This little piece is paper clipped with it. This is our template that we'll use after we decorate our pieces. So you're looking for this little pack of paper, and then pull your Sharpie out. That's your bigger marker that was in your bag. Pull your Sharpie out and get your little pack of papers, and really that's all you need today. I would get a piece of scrap paper, any kind of piece of copy paper, drawing paper, anything's going to be bigger because these are little. Miss Jenny was doodling on my little pieces of paper. We're going to make all kinds of cool designs. So you can see where I doodled right off so I could draw right to the edges. So get yourself like a piece of scrap paper so you can protect the table surface you're working on. You can use color. You can see my little egg here where I use some color. So if you've got colored markers at home that you want to find, or you could get some crayons if you want to. I would not recommend your oil pastels today. They're a little too smudgy for this project. I had a bunch of Sharpies. Look at my cool Sharpies. This is kind of reminds me of my niece over in Atlanta that's a special ed teacher. She's back at school this week teaching online, but she used highlighters. She had just finished her master's degree, so I'm sure when she was studying, she got all kinds of different colored highlighters that probably helped her remember different parts that had to do with different things. So you can even investigate in your house. You might find some yellow highlighters or red highlighters or orange highlighters or green highlighters. Apparently highlighters come in all kinds of colors now. I got colored Sharpies here. So if you've got crayons or markers or colored Sharpies, you can pull those. Otherwise, you can do great with just your black Sharpie. Our colored papers are really pretty colors, so you can just use your black Sharpie to make some cool designs. So let's see, have we got a lot of people logged in? Yeah,
More than normal.
I think we're good. So what I want you to do is find this little pack of paper. Excuse me. Find your little pack of papers here. You can take the paper clip off. This little template we're going to use at the end. So what you need to do is get your 6 pieces of paper out here. You should have some really pretty colors. Everybody might have a different variety of colors, but you should have some light yellows, some dark yellows, some blues. I had a red one and a green one. And you can see I've already done some doodling on mine. So what we're going to do is brainstorm. We're going to put a design on every piece here. Each piece can be totally different. Right now they're blank. I got this blank yellow paper. So what we want to do is think of some kind of pattern, some kind of design. You could write a message. Let's look at some of my egg here. You can see this side. Should I hold it up like this, Joey? Is that good? You can see on this side, I put a bunch of smiley faces. I think that actually turned out to be my favorite on this egg. And what have I got here? On my green paper, I did checkerboards. You gotta know, Miss Jenny loves checkerboards and polka dots. So one of my pieces of paper became a checkerboard. What do you see on this one? My red piece of paper became a bunch of hearts. So that made me happy. This one, I just doodled a bunch of lines. I'd make a bunch of little lines go in one direction, then I'd turn and make some go in another direction, and then I'd turn and make some go in another direction. So that was kind of fun. This one was really fun. You see my blue one? Let me open it up a little bit for you. See my blue one here? I used a green Sharpie, and you know what I did? Let me show you on one of my pieces of paper. This was fun to do. Okay, I'm gonna let Mr. Joey get set up here pulling in. We're gonna move the crayons and the big markers out of the way. We're gonna keep our egg here. I'm gonna move these papers out of the way. Don't lose your little template here, okay? So we're gonna put that there. Okay, here's my piece of paper. And I'm gonna show you how I did this side. Doesn't that look cool? Looks kind of cool. It's kind of like a squiggly checkerboard. And all I did was take a piece of paper like this and put my marker down and just made scribbly wiggly lines. This is why I say it's good to have a piece of scrap paper under. That way you can just make lines that go on and off the paper. This line got disconnected there. And let's make this one. So I went in and just made a whole bunch of squiggles. It actually turns out to be, look at my black Sharpie on my yellow paper. Doesn't that turn out to be a cool looking little design? So you can do something as simple as squiggles all over the place. And it really, with the black Sharpie on top of this bright light yellow paper, it really looks kind of cool. So you don't have to do complicated designs. I did a design, I'll put that one there. I did a couple designs before you tuned in just because I love checkerboards. So I made a checkerboard here. Checkerboards take a little longer to color in. So I wanted to do one before. And then I had just started this one. So checkerboards are fun. If you're drawing a checkerboard, you just simply draw a bunch of copycat lines one direction, and then you turn and you cross them the other direction. Kind of like when we wove paper. And then you start on one line and you color in every other block. So this block would get colored in, skip a block, and this one would get colored in, right? Bay's probably out there laughing because typically, if Miss Jenny's doing checkerboards, which I love to do, I'll be talking and I'll make a mistake and color the wrong box. And if you look closely at my red and black one here, you'll find like 3 mistakes where I colored in the wrong box. But when you go to the next line, you do the opposite. I colored in this square, so I'm going to leave that square blank. And then you do it every other square here. So I'd color in this one, skip one, color in this one. Then the next line goes back to the way we started. That one. So see, checkerboards are fun. I love checkerboards. You can actually make checkerboards out of anything. This is a pretty straight square checkerboard. You can tell on my red checkerboard here, I put my lines on a diagonal, and then they got closer and closer and closer and closer together. And then when I crisscrossed, they were close together over here, and then got wider apart here, and then got close together there. So it kind of makes an optical illusion, like my paper's going woo. Kind of like that project we did last week. This project, I was having fun. I decided to make some stars and moons. So I'm going to keep working on here. And what do you think? What are some other things you could do? I really do like my smiley faces here. That would be really cheerful because when you finish your egg, and if you have some heavy paper for parents sitting out here, this is cardstock, just bright colored cardstock. I'm thinking construction paper might work okay. It's a little wimpy. This is just heavy cardstock. You could just use any kind of stationery that's probably heavy enough. And then you've already got your template here, and I'll show you how we're going to do the rest of it. This would make a really cool project to go cheer somebody up next door, leave it on their doorstep. And I thought the smiley faces were really cute. So I'm thinking I might do another smiley face in this one. I'm going to finish my stars and moons so I can show you how to do stars and moons. Smiley faces are fun. What I did, which I like on this one, is my smiley faces all kind of bump and jump around each other, so they kind of fill the space. So I started with one big smiley face, and then I'd bump and jump some smiley faces around it. So let me show you. How about we make smiley faces on my blue one here. I'm going to start and make one big round circle. They're kind of like emojis, right? Miss Jenny's not real tech savvy, so it took me a long time to realize what emojis were. But these are like emojis, right? They all have different expressions. Everyone's smiling. Some are smiling bigger than others. So think of making emojis. Of course, we don't want to make any sad or scary emojis. My granddaughter has a really cute, scary face. But this project's supposed to make us happy. So we'll make some happy faces. So I'll put 2 little eyes, and I'm going to have him smiling real big. And then I can bump and jump all kinds. I can make a little smiley face over here. I could put another one over here. Kind of like when they all kind of loop around each other. We'll make this one smiling really big. We'll make a big smile like that. He's a really happy one. And let's see. We could even give him some teeth. Looky here, we'll give this one some teeth. There we go. And we could make a big smile face over here. Maybe he's trying really hard to be happy. And I could make another little guy over here. Really tiny smiley face. How about another tiny one over here? And see, you could fill your whole piece of paper with smiley faces. If you had colored markers, you could even come in and make some of them some colors. What do you think is going to happen if I put yellow Sharpie on top of my blue paper? Think it'll turn a color? Look at that. Yellow and blue make green. So you can experiment. You don't just have to use your black Sharpie. You can add some color with your black Sharpie. There, I have a green smiley face. Maybe this little guy over here will be a green one too. So you can make any kinds of designs you want. This one, Stars and Moons, I'm going to add some more to it. What you want to do is fill the whole piece of paper, because we're going to end up folding it and cutting it. So we don't want to have any big blank spaces showing. So I started making stars and moons here. I thought that would make a cool design. I'm going to sneak a little moon in here. I can make a moon by making half of a circle and then go from one point to the other point with a smaller half circle. Color in my stars and moons because I'm just using my black Sharpie here. So I want it to show up really nicely. Maybe I'll put another star over here. Now, I draw stars like this. Lots of people have different ways to draw stars. I start up at the top and I go down like I'm going to make a triangle, across like the bottom of the triangle, and then I come up and crisscross it at the top. Then I come down in the middle down here and hook up to that one up there. Now, is my star perfect? No, he's a little lopsided, but that's okay. Art's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to make us smile and get rid of our stress. So the idea behind making these cool little pieces of paper is not to get stressed. There's absolutely nothing you can do wrong on this project. You can make a whole piece of paper full of squiggles. This would be really cool to do squiggles if you had some different colored markers to use. I could make squiggles in all kinds of different colors. Look at this. Just because I used my black Sharpie already, I could now come in with, I got a pink Sharpie. I could come in and add some pink squiggles. Oh, look how cool that looks. So you could use your crayon to do this. You could use your big markers to do this. Oh, that looks cool. Oh, that gives me an idea. We could do all kinds of colors. If you had crayons, you could be doing this with crayons. Look, I can add some blue in here. Oh, you know what this is kind of reminding me of? How about some green? Mr. Joey votes for some green. I got a green Sharpie. I got all kinds of colored Sharpie. Oh, look at the green. Ooh, I like the green. And do you know what you've done? If you do a squiggle like this with all these colors, this is reminiscent of a very famous artist called Jackson Pollock. He's the one, if you've ever seen what they call splatter painting and drip painting, and if you've ever been in the studio, I'm going to put some of my little pieces here. If you've ever been in our studio and seen like our splatter wall where you clean up your hands, or our buckets of supplies, the little bookcases splattered, this is like Jackson Pollock. He was the first person to do splatter painting and what he called drip painting. So this would be more like drip painting. And he actually put the canvas on the floor and he'd walk around and create all these really cool movements and patterns with all the color. So this actually makes, does that not look like a really cool springtime part to my egg? I like that a lot. What you guys need to do is, if you come up with a good idea of what we could add on one of our pieces of paper, type it into the comment. Hearts? What about hearts? Hearts would be really cool to do. And maybe I could mix some hearts in with my smiley faces. We could mix some hearts in here with my smiley faces. Joey, will you move my cue cards over so I can see the clock? How about if I put a heart here with my smiley faces? I can bump and jump it right in between my smiley faces, because hearts are a good symbol to say I love you, I care about you, I'm thinking about you. So having hearts with smiley faces, I'm going to bump and jump them so they hook right in behind my smiley faces. Hearts would be cool to put on your papers. I'm going to show you one more time some of my papers in my egg that's all put together. And then you guys need to send me some comments. Comment in the post section and tell me some ideas you have for yours. There's my smiley faces. This is a cool one. This one I went and drew a bunch of circles that overlapped each other. I had big circles, little circles. I filled the whole piece of paper with all these circles. And then I went in and drew all the different overlapping parts with different patterns and designs. That's really cool to do. This is my squiggle.
Michaela's doing 3D.
Well, that would be cool. Michaela's doing some 3D designs on her pieces of paper. This one started out like just one layer of scribble. And then I went in and colored in the different parts of the scribble. Here's where I did lines. I drew some, you can tell, some big lines like this that kind of broke the space up into all these shapes. Then I went into each shape and made all these little lines in the shapes. That one's just all hearts. This is a blue marker on my red paper, so it turned out purple. There's my checkerboard. So type in some comments and tell me if you have ideas of what we could put on our papers. And what you want to do is you want to fill all 6 papers with a design. Make sure your design goes all the way out to the sides, because when we fold it, some edges way out here we might not use, but we'll use most of what's in the middle here. So see if you can fill your whole paper. I was doing my stars and moons over here. Let's see, this one's all done, so I'm going to put it right there. And I think I've got enough colors on this one. I really like how that one turned out. Kind of reminds me of springtime here on the island. It's like all the azaleas have burst into bloom at one time. Have you ever been driving down the street in these last few days and you get all these colors of flowers that you see? So that one I've got all done. My checkerboards I've got all done. I'm going to fill in a few more stars and moons here. We can do stars a couple ways. Miss Jenny was doing one this way, where I start up at the top and I come down like I'm going to make one side of a triangle, go over like the other side, then come up and crisscross it at the top, come back down in the middle through that one and back up to that one. That makes one of these kind of lopsided 5 points to a star here. Now I can also draw a star by using 2 triangle shapes. So I could make one triangle, and then I could make an upside down triangle right over the top of it. And that's going to give me a star with 6 points on it.
Bay says you could color inside the squiggles on it.
Oh yeah, on
Like
this
you-
one?
Like you did on the...
Yeah, Bay, I think I got so many colors on here. I would be here till next September if I tried to color in all these little squiggle spaces. And you know I would end up making mistakes. I think, look at this one, Bay. I think I did all those squiggles and I colored it in kind of like a checkerboard. I think I didn't make a mistake. Have you found my mistakes on here? I made like 3 of them on here.
Okay, good.
Okay, I'm going to add a few more. I was coloring in this moon right here. I got a really fat moon, almost half the moon showing on that one. I think I'll put another big moon up here. Okay, anybody got some other good ideas of what you can draw on our pieces of paper? You don't have to draw something different on every piece of paper. If you really like all your colors of squiggles, if you had some crayons or some colored markers and we're doing this, all of your sections could look the same if you want. You don't have to do different things. You don't have to draw something on each section. What if you decided, I want to give this egg to my grandmother, and because you can't go visit with her, but you could drop it off on her front porch. And what if you wanted to write a note to her? One of your little sections, you could just write, I love you, Grandma. You could write inside on these papers. You could put all kinds of messages inside one of your papers that they'll see. Just keep in mind that we're going to cut part of the paper off. So if you're writing a message, make sure it stays right here in the middle part. Let's see, should I give some more smiley faces here? I kind of like all my big smiley faces. So we're gonna make a really fat smiley face there. And we'll say this little guy is maybe a little stressed, but trying hard to smile. We'll give him a little smile. See? You can choose to be happy. So this guy's trying really hard. Maybe we need to put a big heart over here next to him. That'll help him smile even bigger today. Anybody else got a good idea of something you can draw on one of our pieces of paper? Are we getting lots of cool squiggle designs like Jackson Pollock? We could make a Jackson Pollock inspired Easter egg. Don't forget, you could just do hearts. The hearts look really cool. Checkerboards. And don't worry, if you make a checkerboard, you'll have plenty of time to color it in. We'll take a break in, a little while, and I'll show you how we're going to put the egg together. So if you want to do a checkerboard, you're not going to be pushed ahead not to finish it. So you'll have plenty of time. I kind of like my circles with all the different patterns, dots and lines. Those are kind of cool. So anybody got any other good ideas about something to draw on their pieces of paper? Send us a comment, tell us, and we'll share it with everybody. You could do squiggly design like I did on my, on my blue paper here. Just not do as many squiggles and then color in parts of the squiggles. My squiggles I colored in with one color here, kind of like a squiggly checkerboard. But you could make squiggles and then choose 3 or 4 different colors of your crayons or markers and color in the different sections in different colors. That would give you a very colorful paper like this, less squiggles and more spaces colored in. That might be fun to do. I kind of like the hearts. It makes you smile. Think of what would be fun to draw that would make you smile. Could you draw a picture of your dog or your cat? You could draw a picture of your family on here. Let's see. I still need to add a few more smiley faces here and a few more stars and moons, but let's see. Eventually, we're going to put this together. So I'm going to draw a person, give him a little neck here, give him some shoulders. Okay, should we make him smile? Okay, as one person. How about if I add another person over here? I think I can make a whole family here. We'll give him a neck, give him some shoulders. And let's see. We'll give this person some feet. Okay, how about another person over here? We'll make a whole family here. Give him a neck, give him some shoulders, put a hand here. Maybe this one, they'll be holding hands. Give him some hips, give him one leg there and one leg there. Okay, think I can fit 2 more on there? Oh, let's see, I have to fit I have to fit 4 more on there. Mr. Joey doesn't think I can do it. Okay, somehow I got to fit 4 more on, and then this will make my whole family. I could use some colors on here. I could put a big heart in the middle of my people. They got smiling faces, and they got loving hearts here. So this is one happy family here. Now, if this was my family, I'd have to fit 4 more people on here. But I'm going to end up cutting off a little bit out here on the outer edges. So if I was going to fit 4 more people in here, they'd have to peek in behind the others here. So I'll make 2 faces that are peeking in from back here. And that makes how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got to fit 2 more on there. So we'll peek one in right over here. And we'll peek one in right in back. This is a really short one. That must be me. Okay. So there, we got all our heads here. They're all happy. We got a whole family here. That'll look like a strange egg in there. But it'll be kind of fun to see what it looks like. So I need to show a few more hearts. Even though I don't see their whole body, we just see their heads poking in. We're going to see everybody's heart here. And we'll give this person a heart up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 1 more heart, don't I? Put 1 more down here. Okay, there's my whole family, very happy. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's got a good heart going on. So we'll just add a few more hearts. Maybe I'll add some color in these hearts. That would be cool. We can make lots of hearts. And I don't actually have a red marker, do I? How about if I use one of these markers? We'll put some red hearts on here. My family. Okay, have you guys thought of some good designs on your pieces of paper? How are you doing getting all 6 of your papers covered up? We got anybody that's got 6 papers all done? We're going to take plenty of time to cover our papers. So I'm going to add some more red hearts. I kind of like my little family here. Since I don't want my paper to look too blank in places, I'm just going to fill in my space with lots of hearts. Because if it's a family, then you know there's lots of love going on. At least in my family, there's lots of love going on. I haven't got to see some of my family too much. I get to see Mr. Joey every day because he's here at the studio helping do our broadcast. But I have to say hi to my big kid, Mr. Josh. Haven't seen him in a while. And my daughter-in-law, Mary, that's Mr. Josh's wife. She's the teacher at First Presbyterian Day School, so she's home at her house doing all kinds of fun broadcasts for those kids. And Carolyn and Charlie, that's my middle kid and my other daughter-in-law, they're the ones that have my sweet granddaughter, Stella May. And did you see my bunny picture back here? Oh, you can't see it. I'd have to put it down here. You want me to show you my bunny picture? Oh, Joey's going to move it up here. See my bunnies? Rabbits. That'd be cute to put on an egg. These are my bunnies. See my blue bunny and my yellow bunny with the little cottontails? That's Stella May's footprint. See, her foot's upside down. There's her toes for the bunny's feet. And they added ears. Stella May painted me an Easter card. And it says, "Some bunny loves you." Okay, that's my sweet granddaughter note for the day. So fill your pages here with lots of fun, happy things. This is a time to think of happy things that we can draw. So flowers. Oh, you know what? Flowers would be fun to put on one of these. They go right along with springtime, like birds' nests and eggs, right? Let's take, I've got 1 paper left. I'm going to color my red hearts in here. And I'm going to draw some flowers. The other week, we used our charcoal and did a flower project. Does anybody remember doing that? We drew all kinds of different shaped flowers, didn't we, with our charcoal? Oh, there. I like my heart family. What do you think?
Your sister says, don't you need 8 people?
Do I need 8 people?
Stella May.
Oh! Oh, good, sissy. My sister up in Columbus, or Westerville, in Ohio, reminded me I gotta have another person on here. I'm thinking of all us grown-ups, but there's my little granddaughter. We'll put her smiley face right down there, because she's even shorter than me. Oh, we gotta give Stella May a big heart, because she's got a big heart. There we go. Okay, we got Stella May, and yeah, that's right. We're a family of 8 now. Okay, now, I just thought of flowers. Wouldn't flowers be fun to draw? You can draw all kinds of different shaped flowers. You can make up your own shaped flower. We could do a big daisy in the middle. I'll put a little circle and make petals, just like a big teardrop. Just like making spokes on a bicycle. We'll make them go out like we're drawing a big teardrop. One more petal over here. Now, I can bump and jump some petals behind those. So that would disappear behind these petals to go down. Add another one here. Look at that. I got a nice full, doesn't look too much like a daisy anymore. This now looks like a chrysanthemum maybe. But I could put more petals. I could put a skinny little daisy over here. I could put another skinny little daisy over here. These would be fun then to color in all kinds of cool colors. Maybe I'll make one daisy. It's going to disappear behind this one, so I'll see part of that petal. And I'll see part of that petal, and it'll disappear right behind there. Let's see, do you think I can fit another one on? Can I do one over here? I like when things disappear behind things. That's going to fill our space nicely. Put a little center. I could add some really cool color on my daisies here. We could have some red ones, some blue ones, some orange ones, some pink ones. I think you can find daisies in just about any color. I don't know that they really grow that way, but if you go to a flower store, I think you can find daisies in about any color because they call them painted daisies, and I think they actually paint some of them, depending on what color you want. Okay, should I try to pop a daisy in between here? You think I can do it? Bump and jump, bump and jump, bump and jump. I bumped and jumped a lot there. Oops, now I'm gonna bump and jump there, 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 and there. Okay, that looks kind of cool. I'm using my Sharpie for a lot of things, but I could add some color to these flowers. I could make a red daisy.
Make fireworks or candies.
Emily suggests fireworks.
Fireworks, that's a great idea, Emily. Emily suggested fireworks. Oh my gosh, would that be cool? I'm gonna wait and color my daisies in a minute. Look, you could take all kinds of colors with your crayons or your markers and put a little dot and make, ooh, you could make all kinds of fireworks. We can pretend it's the 4th of July.
Ava says candy.
Drawing candy, ooh, yum. Yeah, Mr. Joe is eating peanut M&Ms in front of me a minute ago. You could draw all kinds of candies. You could make peppermints that get all the red and white stripes in them like this. You could make
Like a Tootsie Roll.
a Tootsie Roll. Ooh, yeah, we could draw a Tootsie Roll. Ooh, we could make our Easter egg so good, like it was full of Easter candy, huh? You could make a Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Rolls, kind of curved on the two ends and connect them with a straight line, and then they get these little, the little wrapper that gets curled up on the end. Do they have like a stripe on the middle of their wrapper?
Ooh, some leaves.
Leaves, what a great idea. Look, I've run out of paper. You could make all kinds of different shaped leaves. That would be really cool. Maybe I'll add some leaves with our flowers here. You could make football shaped leaves. You could make, we'll add a second leaf over there. You could make like maple shaped leaves that are kind of pointy on the sides. They come to a point at the top, and put the veins on the leaves. You can tell I'm not a gardener. That leaf's going to run right off the side of the page. Oh, leaves, that's a great idea. And if you really want to draw some special leaves, you could go outside in your yard and collect some. Like I said, you don't have to try to finish coloring everything right now. And this is one of those fun projects. You could find some more paper in your house and keep working on it today. Let me show you what to do to finish. Now, if you're not done, that's okay. Just put your papers down, put your markers down, and I want to show you though what to do for the final step. That way you can take your papers and you can go outside and get leaves or look at flowers. You can do all kinds of designs, but we're going to show you what to do to finish it. I want to finish coloring here though. Okay, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to take each piece of paper and we're going to fold it in half this long way. I want you to fold, your pretty design's going to fold into the inside, okay? So we're going to fold it, line this corner up so you're nice and straight. And take your, while you hold those two corners together so you fold neatly, come along here and press that fold down like that, okay? So take each paper, fold it over lengthwise, line those two corners up right here at the top. Take one hand and hold those two corners together and then bring your finger out here and fold down that fold, okay? So we're going to make sure we fold all 6 papers like that. Fold it over, line your two corners up, put your finger and thumb there to hold. Take your other finger and thumb and come fold down that fold, okay? So we're going to get all 6 papers folded like this. Hold the corner, fold the fold. Okay, now Miss Judy's going to go a little quick here just to get the folds done. Remember, you can pull this back up and watch it slowly while you work. Right now, just watch so you'll know what to do. I think that's my all-time favorite picture we did today. My Jackson Pollock egg shape. Okay, so I got my 6 papers all folded like this. Remember,
Fold them once you're finished.
yeah, don't fold them now because you want them nice and flat while you draw. So if you don't have them all finished, just watch me and you can pull the video up later. You want to make sure you're all done before you fold them. So I'm going to take my one that I know I'm all done with, my nice squiggle. Now, remember this little template that was paper clipped? You want the long straight side of this template. This is our pattern we're going to trace around. Take the long straight side and you want to lay it down on the fold. Okay? Now it should fit just right. It should be the same length as your piece of paper you folded. Okay? Do you notice how the template has a flat side? It's kind of like half of an egg shape, except we have a flat bottom. That's so your egg will have a flat bottom so it can stand on your table. Okay? So take your long straight side of your pattern, lay it right down there on that fold. Make sure it's on so this flat part lines up with that flat part. Okay? And you're going to take your pencil. Oh, I forgot to tell you to make sure you had your pencil. I think everybody's learned to have their pencil out. So when you lay this down, we'll move those out of the way. We lay this down, hold it with one finger so it stays in place, and then you're just going to trace with your pencil. We're going to trace right along that side like that. Okay? You see how we trace that? Oh, can you see my pencil? I laid this right down here so my long part lined up with my fold. I made sure this flat part lined up with that flat edge. And then I took my pencil and I traced right along my pattern. So so it should look like this, okay? Now, I'm gonna do that to one other pattern here so I can show you how we're gonna put them together. So again, I'm gonna take my template. We're gonna do this on all 6 of them once you finish coloring, okay? So I'm gonna lay it down. I'm gonna put the straight edge on the fold. Make sure that flat bottom of my egg is lined up on that straight part. Trace around it. Joey, hand me the scissors are on the end of the gray table. Okay? Then you're gonna need to get a pair of scissors. But remember, you can do this later when we pull this up. Don't worry about it right now. Can you see my pencil line? I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut right along the pencil line. That's the only place we wanna cut. Don't cut the fold. We're just gonna cut right along the pencil line that you drew. And when you get around that curve, it should come right to that point at the end. So you'll have a shape like that. These 2 pieces of paper, you can just put aside. So once you're done coloring, later today, you're gonna fold each piece of paper. You're gonna lay the template on it. You're gonna trace around it with your pencil, and then you're gonna cut them out like that.
If you've done anything like this, make sure you put your bottom at the bottom.
Yeah, Mr. Joey just pointed out, if you drew a piece like this, or a tree, or flowers that had stems, if you have a pattern that you drew on your piece of paper that has kind of a bottom and a top to your picture, like my people here, this would be the bottom of my picture, right? So when I fold them, I want to look and peek and go, okay, this is the bottom. So our template, when I lay the template on it, I want the bottom, that flat part, to be at the bottom of my picture. Otherwise, my people will end up in my egg like they're standing on their head, which is okay. It's kind of a topsy-turvy time we're having now anyway. But if you want to try for your picture to be right side up, if there's a right and a top and a bottom, fold it, make sure you know which part's the bottom, and when you lay your template on it, you're going to make sure that flat part of your egg shape is at the bottom. Trace around it. Thank you. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what we do. Trace around. Okay, those are my extra pieces. So, I'm going to just demonstrate with these 3 pieces that I've cut, because my other ones I want to color on some more. So, when you're ready later today and you've got all your coloring done, we're going to assemble them. What we're going to do is glue the back of one piece to the back of another piece. We're going to go all the way around. So I've got a glue stick. You can use a glue stick. You can use a bottle of Elmer's glue. I found the glue stick worked really well. So I rolled a little of my glue stick up. Now I'm going to start with one piece, and I'm going to put glue on one side of it. I'm going to keep it folded like this, put my glue on. So I'm going to put my glue all over. I want to get right out to the edges, particularly right up to the fold there. Okay, I used a lot of glue. Let me show you. See all my glue? Now, if you're squeezing out Elmer's glue, don't squeeze too much because we don't want it to be dripping all over your pretty pictures. Okay? So, I'm then going to take my next one. I'm going to line it up. So I want my bottom where my bottom is, right? I don't want to put it this way. I want my folds together. I want my bottom next to my bottom. And I'm going to take this one side and I'm going to line it up right on top of there. And make sure my little bottom's lined up there. My edges are lined up here. My folds are together. I'll press it down. And look at that. Those two sides stuck. Now, can you guess what we'll do next? Next, I'm going to put one on top of here. So, take my glue stick, cover it with the glue stick, right out, make sure you get your glue right out to the fold. I think my glue stick's running out. And I'm going to take my next one. What do you have to check? You have to check that your bottom flat part is lined up with this bottom flat part. And then I'm going to lay it down, hook them together. I want to make sure they're lined up. Make sure this curved edge is lined up. Make sure my fold's on the fold. Press it down really good. And see how my egg's starting to form? That's half our egg. Oops, I lifted up to it. See how my egg's starting to form? I got half an egg done. Now, my recommendation is keep that half of an egg. When you got your other three all done being colored, put them together just like you did here. This is a lot easier if we do one half of it, then we'll do the other half of it, and then you'll be able to, when I had this half done, then I did this half, then what you're going to do is glue that half to that half. Okay? And then we'll end up with a cool looking egg. Let's see how my designs look. Oh, look, my family's on there. I see the little edges of my faces. See what happens when we cut. So you'll see most of your design. Look at my squiggles. Doesn't that look cool in the middle? And there's my checkerboards I had done. So when I get my flowers done and my smiley faces and hearts done and my stars and moons done, they're gonna go together once I've cut them like this, except they'll be egg shaped, right? And then I'll put glue all over this part and line it up and glue it to that part. You'll want to make sure your bottoms line up. Oh, make sure your bottoms line up. And then when you've got all these pieces all colored and they're all cut out, you'll have another half like this, and we're going to line them up and glue them on there. Then we'll end up with a very cool egg, just like this. I am going to be so excited to see your egg designs. I think you guys had some really awesome ideas. I love the leaves. Mr. Joey's going to pull our camera back out. And flowers and leaves and trees. Your dog, your cat, you could draw whatever you would like. You could make a whole Easter egg that just has a zillion colors and make it a whole Jackson Pollock Easter egg. That would, if this was an egg that's out in the bird's nest, you'll have to check your yard, see if you've got any nests with any eggs in them. That would look like that chick's about to bust out of that egg with all those squiggles. I really like my little people. They turned out kind of cute. I'm glad my sister told me to add Stella. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see all 8 faces there. So, don't forget to take a picture. Post a picture on your Facebook page and then tag us at Idea Studio with this little @ sign and put Idea Studio, so when mom or dad or whoever you're with posts a picture of your work on your site, tag us so I can see it, because I'm dying to see all your different designs on your eggs. And then this is a project, if you've got any heavy cardstock paper at home, you could use just all white paper and then use lots of colors of crayons on them. You don't have to have different colored papers to do it. I happen to have a bunch, so that let us use just Sharpies if you needed to. Make a bunch of them. They'll make you smile. Make a bunch that just have big smiles on them, and find somebody you can go drop it off on their front porch, or drop it off to one of our nursing homes. Lots of our retirement centers and our nursing homes, they can't have visitors because it's a little too dangerous right now. So that's a good place to go drop some off. If you wanted something good to do, make a whole bunch of eggs today and spread the joy around that we can celebrate springtime. Tomorrow we are doing watercolor. We're going to paint some tulips because I have seen the most awesome pictures being posted of all the tulip fields. This must be the time of year that tulips bloom. And tulips are really fun to draw. They're real simple to draw. There's not too much to a tulip. And we're going to use some of your watercolor tomorrow for tulips. So don't forget to take a picture, post it. I really want to see everybody's eggs. Use that little @ sign, @Idea Studio, so we'll be able to see it when you post your picture on your Facebook page. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye.